Look at a blank piece of paper. Now imagine that to save it, someone erased the greatest map of the universe ever drawn. Over 2,000 years ago, one man measured the cosmos with his naked eye. His map was perfect. His legacy was irreplaceable. And then, a monk threw it away. For centuries, we assumed it was gone, burned, lost, erased by the chaos of history. But what if it was never truly destroyed? What if the stars were simply hiding, buried beneath 1,000 years of prayers, waiting for us to build machines powerful enough to hear their silence? This is the story of how we resurrected a dead universe from Ghost Inc. To understand this, we travel back to 129 BC. His name was Hipparchus, and while every astronomer before him simply looked at the night sky, Hipparchus did something radical. He measured it. With only his naked eye and handmade tools, he mapped the precise coordinates of over 800 stars, with an accuracy of just 1 degree. 1 degree. To put that in perspective, that is like standing on one end of a city and pointing to a single coin lying on the pavement at the other end. This wasn't poetry. It wasn't mythology. It was the first true scientific atlas of the cosmos. And it vanished. Fast forward to the Middle Ages. Deep in the Egyptian desert, inside the ancient walls of St. Catherine's Monastery, a monk needed paper. Parchment was expensive, almost impossible to find. So he did what seemed perfectly logical at the time. He took an old book. He scraped off its ink. He washed the pages clean and wrote his prayers directly over the faded ghost of Hipparchus's star map. The greatest scientific document in human history, recycled. But the monk made one critical mistake. He didn't erase it completely. For centuries, astronomers suspected something was wrong. The famous Ptolemy, who came after Hipparchus, had his own star catalog. But historians noticed something strange. Ptolemy's numbers were oddly similar to Hipparchus's fragments. Had the greatest astronomer of the ancient world simply copied his predecessor? Or had Hipparchus been so accurate that no one could improve on him? Without the original map, there was no way to know. Then, in 2012, everything changed. Researchers examining the monk's prayer book, now known as the Codex Climaci Rescriptus, spotted something extraordinary. Faint shadows, ancient Greek letters, hiding beneath the ink of the prayers like whispers from another time. They brought in the machines. First, multispectral imaging. They photographed every page, 42 times, each time in a different wavelength of light, from ultraviolet to infrared. Then they went further. At the SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory in California, they fired high-powered X-rays directly at the parchment. They weren't looking for ink. They were looking for the chemical ghost of ink, the trace minerals left behind after 2,000 years. And suddenly, in bright orange fluorescence, the precise coordinates of the constellation Corona Borealis lit up on the screen. The map wasn't destroyed. It had been hiding in plain sight for 1,000 years. But here is where the story takes its most unexpected turn. When scientists compared these recovered coordinates to the known positions of stars throughout history, rewinding the digital clock, the numbers matched perfectly to 129 BC. It was Hipparchus, without any doubt. But the X-rays revealed something else, something that rewrites the entire history of astronomy. Hipparchus wasn't just as accurate as Ptolemy. He was vastly more accurate. Ptolemy didn't improve on Hipparchus. He copied him and introduced errors in the process. For 2,000 years, we gave credit to the wrong man. And that isn't even the most extraordinary part. While mapping the stars, Hipparchus noticed something strange. When he compared his own observations to older, fragmented records, the stars appeared to have shifted by exactly 2 degrees. He considered every explanation. The stars aren't moving, he concluded. Something else is. Our planet. Hipparchus had discovered that the Earth doesn't spin on a fixed axis. It wobbles, slowly, majestically, like a spinning top losing momentum, a cycle that takes 26,000 years to complete. We call it precession. It is one of the most important discoveries in the history of science. And he figured it out by looking at a map that a medieval monk later thought was garbage. The resurrection of Hipparchus's map is not just a triumph of technology, it is a warning. We lost the secrets of the universe because someone needed a blank piece of paper. Today, there are over 160 erased palimpsests in St. Catherine's Monastery alone, each one a potential revolution in science, mathematics.
But here is the one open question. Are we looking? The universe is full of answers we have already found and lost, and are only now beginning to find again.